week's recordings. There we go. Okay, so we are warming up. So I just posted all of last week's workouts. Look at here. See what I did? I did a step out. I have my shoes on today. And I'm doing a reverse kind of a curl. See that? Just a little swimming action. Just a pull around like this. My palms are down. Now I'm going to do several things with the pole that, and again, we're warming up. So let me stress the point. Many of you that are coming on, up here in Michigan, everybody is frozen right now. And so they're moving slowly this morning, okay? So bear with us. It takes a little warming up, okay? Don't just think that you can bypass some of these very important moves and jump right into doing a bunch of lifts. That is not a good formula. It's not a good recipe. So let me just point out, as I'm stepping out, see how I'm dripping down? Now, when I come back in here, pretend that I'm punching you right here so that you stay back. Hi, Chrissy. I see everybody. Everybody's muted. We're just warming up. It's good to see everybody coming on. Here's what I'm trying to walk you through. A nice little warm up. We're going to jump right in to working with some weights today. I posted all of my workouts last week. So if you have like overextended, last week's workout is perfect for you, especially if you have a delicate shoulder, okay? I paid close attention. I tried to show you how to do that cross transference with using one side of your body versus the other side. Now you notice I'm going onto both sides, and I'm going to go ahead and, as I use weights today, you're gonna see that once you're coming off of, you know, pulling your shoulder, or let's say a back issue. I don't care if it's upper back, middle, or lower back. If you have osteoporosis, if you have spinal stenosis, if you have joint injuries, you're the very ones that need to move. The problem is everything that you see out there, everywhere, unless it's specifically for those kind of conditions, you don't know what to do. You're the ones that need to do stuff, okay? So stick with me, all right? So as I'm doing this very simple, repetitive, reverse curling, I want you to pay close attention to the rate at which you're stepping. Pay closest attention to how smooth your movement is. A lot of times we get ourselves into trouble with our joints by doing things too jerky, too quickly. We go way out too far. Okay, so as I'm stepping, let's break it down, okay? So now we did a lot of repetition. Now I'm gonna go ahead and step out, but I'm gonna pull myself back. And right this minute, if I were with you, I would be looking at how you're lined up, starting with your feet. So see how I'm holding here? We did some holding patterns last week, but as I start with this pull now and I come back down, see, I'm gonna stay way back, okay? This has big implications for your ankles, for your calves, for your hips, especially your shoulders, okay? And you may think, oh, well, I didn't know this was so much with it's a lot for your shoulders, especially if you have hurt them, overextended the use of them, especially if you've had some of those disorders. Also included in some of these kinds of issues, I will put in there if you have been diagnosed with scoliosis, okay? These are for you, because as I go like this, see, I've been keeping my elbows down. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm trying to see some of you move through there. It's not necessary. You don't have to be seen. But as I see you, sometimes I take note of what position do I see your elbows in. I've been doing everything up until now with my elbows coming in and staying down for a reason. As they're staying down and I come here, I want to get my shoulders down and I want to start the shoulder blade roll in, okay? Now I'm going to turn my hands with my thumbs out. See that? See that? Yeah. And I'm going to do the same dipping and I'm going to bring it in. Okay, now it's really easy to keep my elbows down and tucked, okay? But as I come up, what if I go up a little higher? See that? Okay, now I'm starting to pull in through the lats, the middle upper and the middle lower lats. Now, see, I'm bringing this bar right under my chin, but my palms are up on the bar. Now I'm going to push back and drop her down. I'm going to do it again. Here's the deal. I'm breaking this movement down and we're finishing up our warm up, okay? I'm going to step out. I'm going to make sure that I'm back. I'm going to go a little wider with my hands because my palm is what? Up. I'm going to dip down just like before. But at this point right here, this is where if I were with you right now, I would have my hand right here on your back. You know why? Because you tend to come here and you tend to flex your back as you come down, especially if you have your hands up. I don't want you to flex your back, okay? I want you to extend your back, okay? So I'm going to go dip in, and now I'm putting pressure on my feet. Forward, this is keeping me from falling on my face, but I am not flexing my back. Now when I come up, I'm going to bring this bar under my chin. Okay, that's going to make me use my shoulders totally different than I did just a couple of moves before this with my hands down this way. Okay, so I'm going to come back. So I broke it down. I went really slowly, and I know some of you are just wanting to do it. Think how you're moving first. And I might point out, are you breathing in through your nose, out through your nose? Yeah, bring them down and bring it right up here under your chin. Okay. Now, for when I'm doing this, the minute I started doing this, palm up, dipping in, keeping my heel down, I'm working my ankles, I'm working my lower leg, I'm working my back, I'm working all through my back. But here's the deal. I am telling you, the minute I came up to here, and I made sure your elbows were still down, but the minute you turned your palms up and you tried to do this, I can bet it got people's attention like Kay. I'm sure she felt this, because you don't think about that when you're doing a warm-up. You don't think about what's happening with your shoulder. Well, that's what this whole first part, and I've been in this recovery mode and really hitting. Now I'm just doing my little stirring of my pot. See? I could make a joke here, but I won't. I've been called worse. No, I'm not a witch. Okay, here we go. All the way around. See how I'm reaching out, but I'm keeping my shoulders down. Now I'm shifting, okay? And so far, no problem with our warm up, with the shifting, right? But what if I do this? Whoa. And what if I do this? Whoa. So I'm not going to go fast. I'm wide, but I'm shifting. I'm bringing that heel up, bringing that pole right here, say rib cage up, in through the nose, out through the nose. Now shift. Don't be too quick to bring the toe up. That's your mistake. See, don't do that or you're going to overlean or you're going to lose your balance. See, as I'm coming around and coming right in through here, see, I'll do a little like this, and then I'll just go pull. And then I'll shift, and I'll get on board, keep my little stirring action going. Okay, now we're talking about a real warm-up for especially your back extensors, which includes, because we're doing this motion, this very much includes your lats, which are supportive and are a part of your whole shoulder mechanism, okay? So just by doing this, you're getting all of that bone and muscle and tendons and ligaments on board. Okay, a couple more. Big breaths. Here we go. Say rib cage up right now. And you're holding. See, don't be too quick to pull that foot off the floor. If you are, you're going to lose your balance and have to put your foot down because you went too quickly. You didn't get settled right here. See, I'm settled into my shifting. Then I can do a nice pull. And then I do my little circle with my pole, my broomstick. Woo. Okay, it's freezing up here. Very chilly here at the end of March, that's for sure. Okay, now put this right down here like this, just like that. And just act like you're behind a catcher's mound. See, I'm gonna stabilize it right here. I'm gonna push my butt back. So I'm gonna come right down here. And when you're in the catcher's mound, a lot of times when we go into this particular position, I see the shoulders come up. So don't do that. Push your shoulders down. Say in through the nose, out through the nose, if possible. Anytime you're doing nasal breathing and you feel the need for more oxygen, well, yeah, open your mouth and get some more oxygen in. Okay, now we're going to be leaning over, and the trajectory is going to be down, all the way down. And as you come down and you act like you're going to put your bar right across your toes, then you're going to bring it in. But your shoulders are staying down. Your shoulders got to stay down. Okay, and here I come. I'm going to come right up here. Squeeze your butt really tight right now, okay? Drop your shoulders, say rib cage up, in through the nose, out through the nose. Here we go. See this? See this? This is a hip hinge. Push your tail lights out like they're shining. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin. As you're going down, many of you are lifting your head up. I want you to keep your chin tucked. Go down as far as you can, like you're going to lay your bar right at the ground. Then you come up and you come up. Yeah, we're going to do it 2 more times. In through the nose, out through the nose. Get ready. The minute you see me do this, my back extends because I'm doing what? I'm saying rib cage up, tuck my chin, shoulders down. So I'm into the heels now, and then I'm going to come back around. I got 1 more. In through the nose, out through the nose, push into the heels, keep your chin tucked, and come right back up. Yeah, okay. So we've done a lot of forward bending. We've done a lot of just stepping forward and back, split stances. So now 1 or 2 more as we get ready to start picking up some weights, okay? And so I might tell you right now, when you go to one leg and then you bring that toe up, okay? These kind of moves, whether we're doing a split stance and I had you do that, I had you shift and bring it up, remember? And now I'm crossing, and I do this a lot because it is such a good warm-up move because it's a great balance move. It gets your brain hooked up, and it's a beginning weight training move because you're doing one-legged stances. So you're taking your whole body weight on one leg, okay? That starts the loading process. Okay, so before I pick my toe up here, see, I'm gonna check all my systems. So what does that mean? That means be very aware of how you're standing. I got my pole. If I need to put my pole down, I'll just put it down. See, and lean into it, one hand or the other, to balance things out. And I want to get better and better and better at doing one-legged stances. So this is a crossover, and then I'm going to come back, okay? Tighten in the tummy. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, drop your shoulders, and rib cage up. After you've done all that, then you can say you can either use your pole, see, or not. But when you're going to pick that toe up, you got to keep your knee soft, all right? And you're hanging out here and you're really getting things firing when you do this, okay? And then come back. Now I'm going to add one more move to this whole sequence here, which is I'm crossing over, everything's good, but now I'm going to take my back leg and I'm just going to step forward like that and then come together. See that? And walk back. So we're at the very, like the apex of like a V type situation. I got my little bar right here. Okay, you ready? So you know this one. So we cross over there. Now we're going to release the back foot and we're going to take a big wide step forward and bring it together. So this kind of progressive crossover, kind of a proprioception balance kind of a sequence, very, very good for our brains. Very good for our brains. And if you're struggling with it a little bit, good. That means your brain is making new circuitry, okay? Even though we've done this move in my class, I tend to try to put it in here periodically. This is a good thing to do pretty much every day, okay? And then step forward with the back leg. So if you're struggling and you're saying, what does she want me to do? What does she want? This is too hard. Stay with me. Okay, here I am. Here's my bar. See, I'm hanging on to it. I'm dropping my shoulders. My knees are soft. I'm going to cross over. Okay. Then I'm going to bring the back leg forward and bring it together. Then I'm going to walk back. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So check your systems. What does that mean? Number one, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose a couple times. Okay. Drop your shoulders. My palms are forward. I'm going to cross, and then I'm going to step up and together. And then I'm going to walk back, walk back, walk back, walk back. Now I'm going to take my bar here, and I'm going to bring it right here to the side. See that? And I'm going to go just like this and just like this. Okay? So all I'm doing is the same motion that you would use if you were walking. My palms are into my midsection. My palms are in here. My palm is in here. So now I'm going to pick up a heavy weight, not a heavy weight, I'm sorry. I'm going to pick up a weight. So I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to pick up a 6-pound weight. So that's a lightweight for me. So 3 might be a lightweight for you because that's in my weight configurations. It goes 3, 6, 9, 12. So pick up whatever's light. And if you don't have anything light besides like cans of food, that's perfectly fine. Just pick up something that's considered light by you. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to do some of the same stuff we were doing. I'm going to go like this, take a walk, and like this, take a walk. See that? And then I'm going to step back and back. Okay? So my palms are toward my body. Okay? Same thing. We're going to take that walk, but we're going nowhere here. See? I'm going to push off that back toe. But instead of pushing off, I'm going to bend it. See that? Yeah, I didn't do a huge wide step. It's going to push your ankle. I'm just telling you, okay? So here I am. I'm going to go with my arms. I'm going to do a little arm swing. But what am I doing with my back knee? What am I doing? This is what I want you to do. I want that back knee to dip. See that dip? So I'm going to go boom. Yeah, just like this. So do you see that I'm doing the same kind of motion? But what am I handing in the shoulder? What am I holding in the hand with the shoulder issue that I'm having? I have just a bar, just so I can grab it. So I'm going to go up and back, and at the same time, I'm training my back. I am really doing a lot of hamstring, gluteal, quadricep, and calf work. Don't treat this move too lightly. Stay with me and dip the knee down. See how I'm going down? Now, you could have weights in both hands. See, I don't know if I pointed that out. I'm trying to show you a progression of starting to load very cautiously and carefully when you have overdone it on a delicate shoulder, or you fell, or whatever. See, if you want to have a weight in both hands, well, God bless you, do it. I'm merely showing you how to do this. Now, if you stay with me in all those moves and you were doing this right here, let me tell you, you're feeling it in your calf right now, big time. So bring that up, turn that toe out, okay? So I'm doing some of the most important moves for leg strength, especially, see how I'm holding this out here like this? I'm holding this out here for a reason. I'm letting that calf recover, okay? Now I'm going to put the other leg in back. And I'm going to step out with my back leg. I'm going to step out here, okay? So here I am. This could be both. You can have both weights in both hands, okay? I'm trying to show you how to enter upon strength work when you've pushed it just a little too much on a shoulder that gives you trouble, which my left shoulder gives me trouble because I hurt it, you know, when I got run over by a car. I was a pedestrian and I landed in the road after I had took the lady's windshield out. And when I landed in the road, I landed on this shoulder. So yeah, I have to be careful with it. But it doesn't mean I shouldn't try to strengthen it. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, are you dipping with that back leg? I hope you are. Say rib cage up. Keep your chin tucked. Say in through the nose, out through the mouth, or out through the nose. And all I'm doing is like a hammer curl. I'm not taking my arms way out. I'm not doing heavy weights. I'm doing a light weight. And it could be in both hands. I just happen to go very light, and I'm just doing this with a bar. So I get some of the same kind of benefit of gripping and of doing the movement, but I don't have weight. That is my biggest thing, little tip that I can give you. Life happens. And when you overdo, give yourself time to recover. Okay, just a couple more dips. We're almost there. I'm feeling it. I don't know if you are. Say, rib cage up. Some of you are leaning maybe too far forward. Okay, just two more. Here we go. Dip. One more. In through the nose, out through the nose. Bring that leg up. Okay, turn that toe out. See that? Totally releases all of that tension that you just worked really hard at creating. Okay, so lightweight, just a bar in my hand, okay? So tight tummy. Now, I'm gonna put my weight down and I'm gonna grab heavier, but I'm not gonna grab it heavier in this hand. If you can, then do. So I'm gonna go ahead and push it up. Now I'm picking up a 9-pound weight, and I would have a 9-pound in this hand, or it might take me another couple weeks for me to really do some work with a weight on this hand. So I hope you're getting what I'm trying to do this morning with weights. So the other day I was just kind of helping, which I will do, but I wanted to train my hand to grip. So when you're gripping your bar, you really grip it and then release it. See, I'm gripping it and releasing it. I'm not keeping a death grip on this the whole time. But one of the best things about free weights is training your gripping. And that is a big deal with training yourself to be stronger. You want a good grip, okay? So here I am, standing right here, got my grip, got my heavier weight. See that? So I'm gonna do that again, just like this, okay? So what am I gonna do with my feet? Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna stand a little wider than shoulder. We're gonna do all our parameters. What's our parameters? Shoulders down, rib cage up, pull that chin in, soften your knees. And when you soften your knees, by virtue of that, you need to push your butt back just a little bit, okay? Your knees will go out forward a little, but I don't want them to go out much. That's why I push my butt back, okay? Now, go down to your feet. So as you're doing this, now I'm gonna go into my toes and I lift my heels. You can see what I'm doing here, see? Now I'm going more pronounced into my quad. I have to push my butt back because I'm gonna lift my heels. Then I come back and I kind of bring my toes up, but then I lift my heels again. And I want to take a special caution to anybody that has had messed up shoulder. And if you're doing this kind of as a progressive training to get stronger because you have a shoulder that you've messed up, just take great notice of the line of your shoulders, okay? So see what I'm doing? I'm going into my toe box. I'm lifting my heels. This is great work. It's hard work for people, especially if you've had any kind of plantar fasciitis or you have any kind of footwork going. Some of you might have had footwork going. You can do this whole sequence that I'm doing right now sitting. So don't push your feet over the edge either whenever that you're trying to strengthen them. Do part of this work that I'm doing. See how I'm lifting my heels? Standing, but then do part sitting, which is perfectly fine, okay? I do a lot of stuff sitting. It's just one of my goals for people that come on to, especially my Mondays and Fridays is to get you to do pretty much the whole class on your feet, unless we're going to do some specific strength work for the back and we're laying down. Okay, so see what I'm doing? I'm going into my toe box and I'm lifting my heels. Okay, now stay into the toes and lift your heels and do a little pump. See the pump? So I have to have a wide stance or I'm going to lose my balance. Then I'm hanging on to my hand weights right down here. I'm saying rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. I'm pumping the heels up and going into the toe box and then back down. So for anybody that has had significant hamstring issues, which I know people that do, has the name of, I think, Kathy and others, this is a really good move to do because it will stress it, but not too much, okay? But you'll definitely be able to feel it. Okay, take a big breath, walk around a little bit, take a toe out this way, take a toe out this way, tighten in on the tummy. Now we're gonna bring the shoulders up and then drop them, okay? We're gonna bring the shoulders up and then drop them, okay? Now instead of just standing there doing this, I'm gonna put my little pad right in the floor, and it's a tiny bit, it's not quite a square, so I'm gonna make it so that it's lengthwise this way. I'm gonna put 1 foot in the middle, see that? 1 foot in the middle, and I just have my little kickstand right here on the floor, see that? So you should have a pretty medium weight in your hand. So this is a 9 pound that I have here. And of course, I don't have one over here because of the shoulder issue. I'm just coming back into some strength moves, okay? And you don't want to set your recovery back. How do you do that? By pushing too much, number one, or not pushing enough. So there's that fine balance. So see here, see how I have my kickstand? You know why I have that there? Because I don't want to stand here with my hip height like this. See that? So I bring my kickstand here, equalize the hip bones, soften the knee that is on the pillow, on the disc. Got it? Now you're ready to bring the shoulders to your ears, pull them back, push them down. Oh, she got down all by herself. Now come forward. Now come up. Okay, you're maintaining on this very unstable surface. So what does that mean for your ankle? That means you need to let all 4 corners do this work of holding your balance and steadying you. See, my knee is soft as I do this shoulder up, down, around. So it's going to go around. Now it's going to go up. Knee is soft. Knee is soft. Now it's going to go back. Now it's going to go down. Your knee should be soft. Your foot should be working like you can't believe on this. Okay? Should be all over the place. And if it's not, maybe you need to go gently on your kickstand. Don't push too much into your kickstand. So if you try to bring it up, you'll see what I mean. Now you're talking about a move that is really going to work on your ankle and your foot and your lower leg. Okay? See how I keep correcting? So I want to try to stay on target, but I'm circling with my shoulders. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Woo. Make your foot and ankle really work, but don't let it push you to instability so much that you lose your balance. So you always have to have safety first, okay? If you need to do this and you really, really are wanting ankle involvement and ankle work, but you're really out of balance when you bring your leg up, use your little bar on the floor, okay? If you can, and just have one weight, and just do how I'm doing, okay? So you can have two weights. That depends on what you're wanting to work at. I'm trying to get you to work your ankle a lot, your foot a lot. At the same time, I'm loading here, okay? Shoulders come up, they go back, they go down, they go forward, then they come up, and they go back, and they go down and forward. And see how I'm keeping my knee soft? And I'm taking that foot off the floor, but I got this point of contact here. Yeah, that's one way to do it and to help yourself. If you can get to where you can do this kind of a move with this foot and the other foot, and you can do it for 15 to 30 seconds, I want to hear from you, because you will start seeing that you have strength in your legs and your foot, and you have better balance just by doing that, okay? But you have to decide you want to have better balance. You got to decide these things. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Okay, open your hands. Go ahead and grab your bar if you've got a bar. If you don't have a bar, you can always grab a tea towel. Okay. So here I am. Now we had a lot of practice, didn't we, at doing a single leg stance. And then we dipped, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to carry that on further on this. We're going to do one with just a bar first, so you get a sense of the balance this is going to take. Then we're going to go ahead and pick up weights, and it'll be so fun. You'll just love it. Okay, so what am I going to do? Here's my pad, okay? I am going to step into it just like I'm going to take a step. That's it. Put your foot right in the middle, just like you're going to take a step and walk over it. But we're not going to walk over it, of course. So, first trainer's tip. If this makes you feel very unsteady, your foot is on a very non-compliant surface, meaning it's rocking all over the place, okay? The first thing to do is not turn your foot like that. The first thing to do is widen your stance. Do you see that? Now we're going to have ankle, knee, hip, back involvement straight on, okay? Now we're just going to bring that back knee down. See that? See that? Yeah. So now I'm up on an unstable surface. We've practiced this many times, starting at the warm-up today. But now I'm going to drop down. But you know what I would be doing right now? If I were just with you, I would be looking at how far forward you're leaning, number one. Because my goal is to get that knee down. Don't worry about the front one. It's going to bend however it needs to. But I want you to stay upright. So you're going to go out just a tiny bit, but don't go out very much. And that knee goes straight down like it's going down to the floor. Just like that. Then you do these little pulses. I call these pulses. So it's right here. See, my hands are down here. My hands aren't moving. The movement is coming from all of my lower body. And I'm keeping myself upright as I push into this very loaded position, okay? And then I come back and I step back. And if you did that right, the back leg, this one, woo, you should be feeling that in your calf. So you just pull it out like this and pull that toe up. It releases your calf tension totally. Right there. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders. In through the nose, out through the nose. I'm really going to keep encouraging you guys that anytime you notice yourself breathing through your mouth, try to breathe through your nose, okay? And I'll tell you some more about that. The one that I could suggest, especially for people with osteoporosis, is to understand just some basic breathing things. Mostly you're supposed to do it from the diaphragm. So that would be my biggest thing. By virtue of going in through your nose and out through your nose, and don't raise your shoulders when you breathe, the air has to go somewhere. So you let it out through the diaphragm and then back in through the diaphragm. So you strengthen your core already by doing nothing but breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, and make sure that you're not raising your shoulders. Right here, if you want to really get a handle on that, we'll see how much time we have at the end. Maybe we'll get down and I'll show you how to, you can put a book on there, or many people have like their little laptop computer, put that right there, right almost in the belly button area. When you're laying down, breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, let it rise and fall. Very simple. Okay, I have my bar here. You can choose whatever medium you want. If you don't want to be hanging on to something, if your hands are sore, make sure your chair is where you can put your hand on your chair. That's number one, okay? Number two, maybe you're doing this and your hand's on the wall. Whatever, a counter somewhere where it's not, you're going to be able to steady yourself. So that's safety first. So now I've switched legs. I'm going to step, I'm going to stand back here. I'm going to step like I'm going to take a step, but here's where you stop, because I don't want your knee going out over your toe, especially if you're a person with knee issues. I'm trying to help you strengthen your knees without stressing the joint. I have to help my little dog. You notice how I'm doing this? She can't quite jump up there. She's still pretty, her nerves take a long time to come back. So she had that little paralyzing issue on the 17th. Anyway, so here I am, step, yes. Use this to stabilize, or a chair, see? I am not allowing my knee nor my body to bend forward, okay? Rib cage up, drop your shoulders, okay? If you feel you need to stabilize more, widen your stance. See, just widen it. Don't turn the toe. Now, if you want to make this more challenging, well, then come back in line so that you're kind of on a very narrow diving board. That'll be very challenging, okay? But you don't have to be that narrow. It's up to you, okay? So in through the nose, out through the nose, drop your shoulders, say rib cage up, and now I'm going to bend that back knee, okay? So this is the knee that's on me is replaced, okay? So this is doing great work to help stabilize my hip here without hurting it. And if I'm making sure that I'm not too far forward and I'm taking that knee down as far as I feel I can, oh my goodness, you're going to get all kinds of heavy duty muscle work, bone work, sparing your joints. See how far down I am right now? I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it, okay? Take a big deep breath, and then you can take your shoulders out and around just gently. You don't have to do it if it's gonna knock you off, because it will. Be ready for that. If this is enough for you to be down here and do these little pulsings, just let your hands settle, okay? That's perfectly fine. In through the nose, out through the nose. Keep your rib cage up, dropping that knee down, pulsing. Big breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. You have to use your diaphragm in order to do that. So this is core, this is quadricep, this is hamstring, this is calf, this is ankle and foot, whew, gluteal, back, and I'm hanging out here, right here. Breath, just do a couple more. In through the nose, out through the nose, and bring it back. Okay, this should be zinging. Yes, this is what it's meant by saying when your doctor says, oh, you need to do strength lifting. Well, if you do typical strength lifting and you have any of these issues, osteoporosis, etc., you're going to be in trouble. So I'm trying to take you through a very systematic way of coming back from even, let's say you did too much on your shoulder. So I'm if you've been with me, all the ones I loaded last week and this one, that's what I'm trying to get you to do. So I'm going to keep using this bar on my shoulder side that I'm kind of helping to move along. Now I'm going to step wide and I'm going to go on up in weight. So what am I picking up? If I had 2 intact shoulders, see, I would pick up a 12 and a 12. If I was one of you that you're always want to know, okay, well, what are you picking up? Well, if I pick up a 12, that might be too heavy for you. Pick up what's heavy for you, but that will be appropriate, okay? So, I am not using a weight yet. Now, when you see me on Friday, I might have a 1 or a 2 pound weight, maybe, but we'll see, okay? So big breath. So now I'm gonna step up on my little pad because I'm trying to add complexity. Let's say I'm you and I don't have any shoulder issues. I'm gonna have 2 weights. I'm gonna have a weight here, pretty heavy, and I'm gonna have a weight here. I don't have a weight because I hurt my shoulder, okay? So here I am, see this? Okay, this is 12 pounds. Just by standing on this pillow, maintaining good posture, oh my goodness, I just loaded 12 pounds that this side has to equalize. It's working hard, okay? So now I'm gonna just do a push back with my butt, all right? I'm gonna come back up and squeeze my butt. See, it's a high hip hinge. Okay, I'll turn to the side so you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go push the butt out, rib cage up, go down just like you're gonna do a high hip hinge, keep your chin tucked. Now pull back, okay? So I'm gonna take this hand because I wanna use it a tiny bit. I'm gonna just put it over my other hand. See that? You might have 2 weights. Then you're gonna go down right to here and you're gonna pull back up, just like that. So it needs to be a challenging weight for you. I'm gonna do a high hip hinge, pull, and then pull back open. So I'm getting a lot of great, gentle range of motion through my shoulder without putting weight into that delicate shoulder. Okay, is your butt tight right here? Are you breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth? I mean, out through your nose, if possible. Are you equalizing? Is your knee soft? Is your butt pushing back and your rib cage up? As you go down into this high squat. So it's a high hip hinge, a high squat. Here I go down. And I'm just doing a pull through with my heavier weight. What does that do? That does everything about the function back here as your shoulders go forward and back. It is huge. Okay, here we go. Couple more. See how I just bring it to the front with my weights and with my little bar. High hip hinge, come to the front, and then come back. And the shoulder blades go into the back. Now the shoulder blades come out. And I'm staying on my little pillow. I'm pushing through the heels. Then I'm coming up and maintaining my balance, squeezing my butt. Again, heels and back out. Just 2 more, just 2 more. Here we go. and back out. One more, one more. Here we go. And back out. Nice. I'm going to step off, okay? So now I'm going to take my little bar. I'm going to put it down. Take my little pad over so I don't trip on it. So now I'm going to just, and I'm going to invite you to use one weight at a time here, okay? So put your heavier weight in your hand. Use your other hand, no matter if you have a good hand or you don't have one. And you're going to put it right here in the middle. And you have both feet on the ground. And you're going to just take your weight. You're going to steady yourself with your hand here. You're not really putting pressure on it. But by putting it out here, you're using it a little. Okay? So I'm going to go into my heels. And I'm going to pull into, get my elbow to come up and get that shoulder blade to roll back. Then I'm going to come all the way down to the floor. I'm going to do that hip hinge. I'm going to go pull. So I'm doing a tiny little turn, not a lot, because I don't want any twisting really of the lower back. You're going to pull, and by virtue of this going up, you get a tiny little transverse move. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the hand in the chair. But as I go down into my heels and I come up, I'm going to keep my chin tucked, keep my rib cage up, breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, go, and I got two more, and I got one more. Good. Okay, now switch. Now I am going to put my little light dowel in my injured side, okay? You're going to put your regular weight, the heavier weight, in your other side. Approach your chair, put your hand on it. You're going to go into the hip hinge squat. And as you come up, you're going to keep your shoulders down. And you're going to do the same kind of motion. You want your elbow to pull back and into the midline, into your center line. See how that pull is just a little? Stay into the heels. Pull. Very lightweight here. Heels. Get that elbow coming up. Don't twist too much. Make sure you're shining your taillights. Stay in the move. You're going to feel it in your quads, especially if you've got weight on this hand that's working right now. I don't have it there because of the injury, okay? It's not really an injury. It's just I irritated an old injury, okay? And we do that all the time. It's called life. Okay, couple more. Heels. Keep your chin tucked. Heels. Chin tucked. Two more, two more, two more. Stay in the heels. Breath and breath. Come forward and up. Yay. Okay, take your little dowel. Put your weight down. Now, do that little stirring. That little stirring. But here's the deal. This little move, if you have an injured shoulder or one that you keep messing up, when you go to do this, if you lean way out and you reach this hand too far out, you can re-injure it, okay? So I want you to sit back into your heels, number one. Okay, shine your taillights, number two. When you start to go around, do not come out of the column. That's too big of a move for your back. especially if you have some of the stenosis disorders, some of delicate back disorders, okay? It can range from all kinds of things. What I'm trying to show you is correct postural movement. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more this way. And see, I do a little shifting, but I don't go out of the column. What's the column? It's the space defined between your 2 shoulders, your hip, and your legs. Now I'm stepping out here just for base of support, but this is the column. Okay, let's go the other way. Other way, other way. Here we go. See how I'm not taking my arm out to a full extension? Yeah. And do you see how low my arms are? Some of you are doing this and you're way up here on in front of your face. You want to stay way down here. Okay? Now the whole thing that we did today was integrating very good loading position and moves using free weights, and how to start doing the very same moves with, let's say, a delicate shoulder, delicate wrist, arm. Let's say you hurt your elbow. I tried to show you how to do a very good loading kind of workout without damaging or re-injuring. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more in this way. See, I'm shifting a little, but I'm pretty much staying rib cage up, shoulders down. And you see how this move is very conducive to almost like a pendulum type move, because I'm not way out in an extreme position, especially with a long straight lever. And by the way, the longer your levers are, probably the more you've had injury, okay? Because when you put a long lever, people with long arms tend to have a lot of shoulder issues. A lot more shoulder issues. That's just the way it is. Okay, because you have a long lever. Look at Ruby. It's so pitiful. She's waiting. I'm going to make her work. See, this is how you coax them. And you say, you can do it. Crawl up. Come on. There. See how I made her crawl? And she's okay. Get your little rear end in there. There you go. Okay, sit on your chair. You guys have done a really good job today. So here we go. When you stand up and you do work like we did today, you don't even realize how much loading has happened. One of the best things you can do is lay flat on your back, put a pillow under your knees, and turn your thumbs out. Let the backs of your hands, so pretend that I'm laying flat. I'm not going down there just for time, but after we get off today, if you can just lay down in the floor, put a pillow under your knees, and just bring your chin tucked. Maybe you have to put a pillow under your head because you have like a forward head issue that you're working on. And just turn your thumbs out. Don't lock anything, and just lay there for, I don't know, one expert, Sarah Meeks, in osteoporosis, this is called realigning, okay? And you can do this up against a wall, actually. You know, you can go up against a wall. And if you have no other way to do it, see, I'm doing kind of that right now. I'm just keeping my chin tucked, thumbs out. So the best way to do it is laying on the floor with something under your knees, something under your head, and maintain your neutral spine. That's the thing. Okay, after we've done that, see, I'm going to turn just like this. I'm going to keep my rib cage up. I'm going to breathe through my nose, out through my nose. And then I'm going to look with my chin turning. I'm not going to tilt my head. I'm turning, I'm taking my chin all the way over here to my shoulder as I can and looking over my shoulder. In through the nose, out through the nose. Drop your shoulders right now. Drop your shoulders. Some of you have scrunched your shoulders. Okay, come back. Okay, now stay with me. Now we're going to do that catcher situation, but we're sitting. See, I'm letting you sit. See how I have my elbows here? Now, I have a little pressure on both elbows. That's okay as long as you keep your shoulders down and your chin tucked. You put gentle pressure, see? But if I go forward a little more, see, and drop into this position, wow, that is a great stretch for your groin. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Come back, and we're going to turn the other way, and we're going to look over our shoulder. I'm going to take my chin as far as I can. I'm not going to tilt my head. Okay? I'm going to just get a good moving, dynamic mobility stretch from my neck all the way down my thoracic spine, all the way down my lumbar spine, all the way down, just by doing this correctly. Just by doing this correctly. Oh my goodness, you're going to feel really good when you do that. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to come right here. Okay? I'm going to stay right here in this position. I'm just going to grab my knees and I'm going to straighten my legs, drop my head for just a few seconds, feel the stretch, then come back, then come up. I did that whole movement without doing the one huge caution that people like Sarah Meeks, who is a specialist in osteoporosis, I did that whole move without doing that flexion in the back. That's what somebody with osteoporosis should not do. Okay, so let me take off our recording.